Good morning, everyone. This is Diane Murray at Southern Art Gallery. Today we are looking at transfer paper. A lot of my students, especially beginning watercolor students, aren't comfortable with drawing, so we do a lot of tracing in our beginners classes. So I, for years, have used a transfer paper called Saral, S-A-R-A-L, and I ordered some new transfer paper because my old transfer paper was just basically worn out, and I wanted to compare this to the transfer paper that some of my students had in one of my classes that was from Amazon. So the big thing about transfer paper is that you need to be able to erase the lines if you get them too heavy. The Saral has always been my choice because it does erase easily, but we're going to try it compared to this other paper that one of my students graciously gave me. And this is called My Artscape Graphite Transfer Paper. This was from Amazon. It's very inexpensive, I believe, and it supposedly is erasable. What I've found in my classes is that it's very difficult to erase these type graphite papers, which is why I use the Saral. Saral also comes in different colors. You can use the white or the yellow for if you're painting an acrylic or you're painting on a toned background, toned paper or toned canvas. You can use these, so it's a wonderful product. I did get this from Amazon. So what we're going to do is we're going to test it out and see if this does erase easier. This is a drawing that I did of an artichoke, and we are using it as our sample. And I have used the Saral here, and I've used the Artscape, which is just a standard graphite paper here. I use the same pressure, but as you can see, I used a stylus, which basically looks like this. And I used the same amount of pressure, but as you can see, the other graphite paper, and I'm just going to call it the other graphite paper, produces a much heavier line, and the Saral is much lighter line. So the Saral comes in this package. This particular one, the sheets were 12 by 36, so I cut a sheet 12 by 12 just to make it easier to handle. And as you can see, it's graphite on one side and it's got the lighter tone on the other. So let's erase and see what happens. So as you can see, and this is on just a Canson sketch paper. This is not watercolor paper. So I thought this might be an easier way to test it. And you can see it does erase somewhat. I'm using a white eraser. White erasers are the best erasers to use when you're dealing with graphite because it smears lace. So it is erasing some of the line, as you can see. So if you're too heavy-handed, you can erase some of this. It's a bit harder to erase on watercolor paper, but you can get it lighter. You can also use a kneaded eraser like this, and you see it is graphite, so you do get graphite all over yourself. You can roll your paper like this. And this works well on watercolor paper, and it does lighten it a little bit. And then, of course, to clean your kneaded eraser, you knead it like this. So that's about as light as I can get this drawing, this transfer, without really working hard on it. As you can see, I'm working pretty hard on it, and it's not coming any lighter than this. And unfortunately, these inexpensive graphite papers are what are available mostly to my students. And they're okay for practice and for learning, but if you're doing fine art and you don't want your lines to show on your on your finished paintings, you're better off using better quality graphite paper. So let's try the Saral. Hope I'm saying that right. And if I roll it, you can see it takes it totally off. If I erase it, I can erase the entire thing. So if you're serious about and you need transfer paper, I suggest you find the Saral and you use it. There may be other brands out there that work as well, but this is my choice for a graphite paper, and this is the one that I use. I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like other tips like this and other videos on actual my painting process, then if you would, subscribe to my channel.